everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Machtails from the Cantina live. Episode 6. Happy Friday. Cheers. It's from last year. Cheers. Today is game 1 of the ALCS against the Cheaters. 2 cheating teams. You got the Cheatstros, and then you got Alex Cora and his, as my daughter says, how come the Red Sox logo doesn't have stink lines? Yeah, I'm still bitter. I'm kind of taking a back track to my stage of grief. Still angry. Still moving on with my life, of course. As my friend Rich Brindle said, it's superficial to be upset about your baseball team. I didn't cry, though. I did not cry when we were eliminated. I cried in 2019 when Kevin Kiermaier sailed a home run over the 162 landing against the Cheatstros. Game 3 of the ALDS. I teared up when I was listening to Dave and Andy, Rays radio, say that the Rays were in the World Series for the second time since 2008. And I teared up when I was at Game 4, when my boy, Brett Phillips, hit that crazy ball. After listening to Wistock, my brother Wistock, who's probably not going to join us tonight, his Dodgers just advanced to the ALCS, but I teared up there. Game 4 of the World Series. I wanted to live that experience again. We all got a little taste this year. Giants fans got a little taste of the trilogy of their, World Series every other year run. Brewers, no stranger to the postseason over the last handful of years. They're still waiting to just keep climbing, I'm going to talk to a Brewers fan tonight, Patreon member, John Zancanaro. White Sox haven't been to the postseason aside from last year since the Rays eliminated them in 2008. So we all got a taste. But it's, I had plans, man. I had plans with my brother Tyler. We had a bet. Wanted to relive that moment again in 2008 that I did not get the opportunity because I was not there. In 2008, I was watching it on TV from Florida. But I'm going to be talking to some sad fans tonight. Jeff Ellis, the Giants fan. Tyler Page, we're going to check in with him, see where his stage of grief is at. He's like me. He's not really a fan of any other sport. Maybe a little bit of a hockey fan, but, I'm killing time. I'm killing time by cleaning up the Wampa Cave, the Star Wars collection, and finishing the baseball wing of the basement here at the Machtails. And I'm looking at all my Cubs World Series stuff, and I'm looking at all my Rays stuff from since 2008 on, and it's like, I don't know if that helped. It just made me feel a little bit more disappointed because I wanted to relive those moments. There's 4 teams left. And there's going to be 3 more sad fan bases. There's going to be 3 more sad fan bases. It is this thing that I call the baseball hangover. I don't call it the baseball hangover. That's what it's known as. The post-season depression. Maybe your team didn't even have a shot. Maybe you're like Andy in Miami, you're Marlins, fan. You were out of it from the beginning. I know Orioles fans are probably going, what the hell are you crying about, Chris? We're like one of the worst teams in baseball, aside from the Arizona Diamondbacks. They didn't even really have a season. Who wants to relive that nightmare, And then, of course, you got like the Seattle Mariners. They came so close. Baseball is fun. It was fun until the Dodgers are going to face the Braves and the cheaters are going to face the other cheaters. I'm gonna, I still need to get in why I'm a Rays fan. I don't know if we have time for that tonight. You guys got to join me on Patreon, man. It's $2 a month for the podcast episode, $5 for all kinds of stuff. I know you guys enjoy watching the free stuff, and I thank you for the support without the financial contribution. I really, really do. But I think what I want to get into a little bit is I want to talk a little bit about my hate towards the Red Sox. Because I don't know if that's been explained. I was ready to get on the Giants. I don't even want to say the Giants bandwagon because Giants, as I mentioned, episode 1 of this postseason show, they're my third favorite team. But, when I get into a team, I start collecting a bunch of shit, And my wife, Michelle, was like, you know what? Can you please not have a third favorite team? Because then you're just going to have more shit. And I got a plethora of Giants stuff. And I was all ready to pull that out. I mean, what's not to like about the Giants? You got Jake McGee, Evan Longoria, Chris Bryant, Listella, Buster Posey, who was almost a Ray. He was supposed to be a Tampa Bay Ray many, many moons ago. Giants got him. Rays probably would have flipped him shit a long time ago, as they do a lot of their players. Listella, ex-Cubby, is on it. There's nothing to not like about the Giants. And, of course, Bill Graham right here. That is why I chose my path in the music business. San Francisco concert promoter that survived the Holocaust of World War II. Grateful Dead, Metallica. There's so many things to love about that city. But now you got the Dodgers and the fucking Braves with that tomahawk. I was looking for my tomahawk. I had it on the show a couple of episodes ago. And again, I don't know how that fan base is getting away with chanting like Indians. The primarily white fan base, But anyways, I'm going to bring on somebody that we missed on the last show that I want to check in with because I know he's a hardcore sports fan, which I think he's got that going for him. But I want to bring on my friend John, Patreon supporter as well. Thank you. John Zancanaro. John, thank you for joining me on the show tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Macht.
Sorry about that very, very long monologue. As you can tell, I have a lot on my mind. I got to get this shit off my mind.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Different than yesterday?
So on they lost on Tuesday. So I apologize. I couldn't make it on Wednesday, but that night was really sad. I was actually at a different event, so I wasn't even watching it on my normal TV with the audio on and all that. I was watching it with just other people at Lambeau Field where the Packers play. And it was just sad, one, because not everybody was like fully in. Up there it's Packer country, so I felt like I was one of the few people actually fully on watching it, and it was frustrating near the end. When I woke up on Wednesday, still kind of sad, but whatever. And then by now it's for sadly being a Brewers fan, this is kind of normal for us in the postseason. So I mean, I think only once I've been around when I've watched them go on to the next step even. So it's a sad thing, but at least I'm used to it, I guess. But
you know what? I can relate to that, right? Because the Rays, since 2008, the Rays have been no stranger to the postseason. And last year, 2020 was a wild year. We've talked about that several times. And I'm like, holy shit, I have not seen this team go to the ALCS since 2008. Mm-hmm. And both of those rounds last year, the ALCS and the ALDS went 5 games and 7 games. And I'm like, I am going to the World Series. And because my wife is a big supporter in that too. She's like, you don't know when it's going to be the next time. It could be 10 years from now. It could be 20 years from now. It might not ever happen again. I still think going to the Cubs World Series Game 7. I know you got that little bit of dislike as a Brewers fan towards the Cubs, but that was such an important game. And I can relate to you for sure. It's like the Brewers, they get there, they don't go all the way. The Rays, they get there, they got to the World Series last year. They didn't go all the way. I got a little dabble of that this year after 100 wins. 100 wins. But you know what? Let me tell you, John, you guys won the NL Central. Do you still feel happy as a Brewers fan? As you should? I think you should. And lay it on the line, man. Let me hear it.
Yeah. I was thinking about that because I as you may know, but maybe not your listeners, I recently bought an L flag because I wanted it in my garage. So luckily, while pulling out one of the days, it's like, yeah, the Brewers lost, but at least I'm not a Cubs fan this year. And so, so
now you went there. I asked how you felt about your team's season, and you automatically pull out the L flag.
Sorry, it's part of me being a Brewers fan. We always have to give Cubs fans a little crap. It's not that I hate the fans. It's just that I like to poke at the Cubs fans just every once in a while. So.
Poking is okay. Is okay.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, but yes, I am happy. It's our team is always I think the bigger thing is it's always tricky because I always gain a lot of hope. I'm like, oh, maybe this could be it. Our team actually looks pretty good. Like this year, our pitching was pretty good this year, and so I was like, ooh, I think we got this, and so it, yeah, of course it's a little disappointing, but overall though, yeah, it could have been a lot worse. So there were parts in the season where it was not looking very well, and I'm thinking, oh great, this is gonna be a long regular season. But luckily things turned around, and I think we've gained we've gained a good footing, and I think they're gonna be ironing a few things out during the off season, and I hope they just kind of take this as a stepping point to keep going forward.
Well, I would think that that would be the right decision. I think as a Cubs fan, I respect the Brewers. And again, when I respect the Brewers and I respect the Cardinals, I respect the Brewers more than the Cardinals. Cardinals, like when the Cardinals were in the World Series against the Red Sox, I have to quote my friend Antonio from New Jersey. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a taste of that tonight. You have two teams that I don't give a shit about, and I'm a baseball fan first and foremost. But it's like, having two kids that you don't care about, like two bullies at school, out on the yard, beating the shit out of each other, and you really don't care. You really don't care who wins. But I think I respect the Brewers, and I think that they are going to be competitive next year. And as a Rays fan, we got a lot of guys. Shit, Brett Phillips, man. Brett Phillips came for the World Series. He was on the Brewers. You guys got Willie Adames. We got a Willie Adames trade. Gave us some pitchers. Those two guys were good. We're super, super good. I just think that what happened with the Rays, in my opinion, and there was a little bit of an argument on Facebook still between my friend that's an Indians fan and a Red Sox fan that was like, hey, well, if the Rays were built for the postseason, why are they not there? The Rays pitching, they put a lot of people in certain spots that were young, like the two guys from the Brewers. And it's like, hey, we want you to start this game in the postseason. And they're like, well, shit, I'll do that, but that's not in my wheelhouse, I'm going to talk a little bit about why I think the Rays lost as well when Boston Dan comes on. But I'm glad to know that you're happy about the season because you guys won the NL Central. Now, let me remind you, too. I don't have to remind you, but it's 2021. It's not 2020. I feel like baseball was just as hard, if not maybe a little harder last year. I don't think the fans necessarily wrote off last year. I hope they don't, because it was just fucked up for all of us. But I mean, you won the NL Central this year. That says a lot about the Brewers, man. That says a lot about the Brewers. So
Yeah, lots of potentials coming. I think Yelich had a rough year with some injuries and
Well, I
health
mean, he's getting that kind of veteran
yeah.
status, is
Yeah. So Yelich is going like they've already announced that like they're really going to focus on getting him back into his normal MVP status
yeah, sure,
again.
sure.
So that was big because I think Yelich wasn't 100% there this year, and that was where like Willie stepped in and some of the other hitters. I think we need a little bit more hitters lined up to kind of
Oh
fill
yeah,
that all out.
you guys got Boxberger too.
Yep.
He was in the AAA with the Rays. I talked about that on the last show. But now now that we're at the end of the season, you feel better today than you did yesterday.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Every day is now it just I mean, I kind of what you said. I'm a big sports fan, not just baseball. So I'm already slowly getting into the oh yeah, hockey starting up. I still have my Packers. I have Badger football. They're not very good this year, but at least have something else to watch as well. And I watch a ton of other sports, F1.
See, you
And
got all
yeah,
that. I
yep,
just do baseball, and when baseball's over, it's like I start organizing my bobbleheads. I start going to Star Wars stuff again.
yep,
I mean,
yep.
it's just I don't have, like I said before, I don't have an ounce of energy left in me to follow another sport, and I think that might, again, I might be an odd man out because I'm a Cubs fan that doesn't hate the Brewers or the Cardinals, and I'm a baseball fan, but I don't give two shits about any other sport. It's I don't know.
Eh.
I'm in a weird situation, but I can't complain because it's just it's what I do, I guess.
You get to focus though, and that sometimes
Focus.
I think
Yes.
I miss because I'm into the football stuff. I don't end up focusing as much as you do on all this stuff because I mean I'll be honest, it's hard for me to track where other players come from. I mean I back when I was watching one of the Boston games and suddenly I'm like, oh look, there's Shaw. That's where he went to. I didn't even know I wasn't
Oh,
sure where
and
he
it's a
went. Yeah,
postseason game too.
yeah. So I was like, oh, whoops.
Post-
So it's different. It's different stuff. But yeah, I think I just love watching competition. I've said if I ever end up in Europe, I want to get plopped into one of those soccer stadiums, have somebody tell me who to cheer for, and I'll probably just love it. So yeah.
Well, and I respect that. I respect that. I respect that a lot. I'm going to talk to a friend of mine on the West Coast. That's great. This show's been great, right? Jimmy Mack said, I should get on Patreon, which I've been, you guys have been supporting me for quite a while. He said it's going to be a nice community. And I'm like, I don't feel like there's been the kind of community so far up until this baseball episode. We got Jeff Ellis I'm going to talk to next. He's in California. Boston Dan's coming up next after him. He's on the East Coast. I mean, it's great to talk to all these baseball fans and friends and just kind of come together over this. It's very, very therapeutic. So I'm going to ask Jeff about the heartbreaker last night. John, thanks again for being on the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's
I
been a blast.
appreciate you very, very much. Jeff Ellis, big San Francisco Giants fan. He's been on several episodes. He's been a supporter of mine, like I said, since The Force Among Us came out way, 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 way back in 2007. There was a heartbreaker of a game last night. Like I said, man, I got double slapped. I got slapped by the Rays. I was ready to root for the Giants. I picked them to go to the World Series. And the freaking Dodgers, who are a very, very, very good team, mind you. And my friend Wistock, show producer Wistock, who's a big Dodgers fan, he's not going to show his face tonight because he's at a Steel Panther concert. But I want to bring on my friend Jeff Ellis. Jeff, you are fresh into the baseball. Hey, you are fresh into the baseball hangover, man. How are you feeling today?
Well, I'm happy to be talking to you. So better now. Misery loves company. I'm okay. I mean, it's a game, but man, I'm so sad. I don't know how else to put it.
But it's not just a game. It's more than a game.
It's more than a game. I'm so sad because I don't know. I mean, I just think we had such a magical year, the Giants, and I mean, I was getting nervous. I was kind of casual watching the game last night, and I'm like, we're going to pull this out. I just had a feeling we were, because I don't know. You told me that it would be you and me talking at the end, and the two of us, I mean, the two best teams with the best scores in the regular season.
Yeah, the best records, yeah.
Best records.
Rays in the AL, right? You guys in the NL.
Yeah. What are we doing? Not still playing.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know. I think that game last night, though, that you guys, because the thing is, the West Coast games, they start so late.
I know.
Here, especially when the Rays play on the West Coast, it's like, okay, I'm going to be up till 1 a.m. But I fell asleep in the 6th inning. I checked my phone immediately when I got up, and I was like, man, 2-1.
Yeah.
In the 9th inning.
Yeah, it was I mean, the only way I can describe it is a heartbreaker. I mean, because even up until the 8th inning, I was like, we are exactly tied. Like when you think about Dodgers and Giants this whole season. Yes. And at that point, it was like 1-1, and I was like, let's go to overtime and our 10th inning, and
So okay, so you say overtime, so your mind is already on other sports.
that was a slip, but
now are you like, does the sports season end for you and start back up with spring training, or are you on to football and other things at this point?
I'm not a big football fan, to be honest, and so it pretty much starts up with spring training. I mean, baseball is by far my favorite. I actually like tennis a lot too, so I tend to follow some of the Grand Slams. I like the sort of individual aspect of that sport, and I like the team aspect of baseball.
Yeah, for sure. And we got a team aspect too. I mean, the Giants, there was not one person carrying that team. And I think that is why they went as far as they did. And it was funny, before the game started, the commentators were kind of laughing. They're like, you have two teams that, I mean, in all of baseball, the Giants were the best team in all of baseball, and followed by the Dodgers, and then followed by the Rays. But they made a joke that one of these teams is going home with the 109 wins.
I know. It's just, that's what I mean. It just seems wrong, but
at least it went to a Game 5. At least it went to it's the only series in the division series that went to a Game 5.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, cool.
And man, so you feel a little bummed out, but you say it's just a game. I say it's more than a game.
I'm bummed out. I'm bummed out.
You'll feel better tomorrow.
I'll feel better tomorrow. I mean, I'm getting over it, and I can't believe Wistock can't show up to defend those assholes. Sorry. You can
no. Well, we swear a lot on Mark.
Cody Bellinger, man. I mean, it's his fault, and I just hate that guy now.
I asked him to be on the show every episode. I'm like, Wistock, come on, man. You gotta, because I remember I flew in to Nashville, and he picked us up. We were filming his Corvette documentary, and he goes, something under his mask. He's wearing a Van Halen mask, and he goes, I don't want to talk about the fucking Giants. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to talk shit about the Giants. And it made me think, I'm like, oh yeah, you're a Dodgers fan. That, again, man, the rivalries in the series between the Dodgers and the Giants, Rays and the Red Sox. Now you're carrying that over with the cheaters. You got Al Cora with the Red Sox, and then you got the Cheatstros.
I don't know who to vote for or who to root for.
I don't think I can root. But you know what? I do want to say, in the beginning, I was so high on the Rays possibly winning that I said, well, if the Rays don't lose, I can root for the Red Sox to beat the Astros. But you know what? Tyler will not agree with this because he hates Dusty Baker. I love Dusty. He's got Giants in his blood. He's got Cubs in his blood. He's the lovable loser at this point because he does not have a World Series win as a manager. I'm rooting for Dusty Baker in that situation.
That's good. That's fair.
I'm rooting for it, not the team, but I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
But God, I don't know. I know Andy from Miami said the media wants the Dodgers and the Astros to face each other, which makes sense, right? Because when the Astros cheated, it was against the Dodgers in a World Series. So as much as I'm not giving a shit, at the same time, it's like, now if it's not the Dodgers and the Astros in the World Series, I could definitely root for the Braves in this situation if they're facing the Red Sox, So yeah. I don't know, man. I don't want to say goodbye to baseball. It's been.
I know.
I remember, Jeff, last year you had said to me during the pandemic that you're really, really missing going to ball games.
Yeah.
And when you said that, you were the first person that really said that vocally. And I was like, man, I'm glad that I'm not the only one. And I know we're not the only ones, but to hear you say that, I knew you were a baseball fan saying
it. Was that type of, well, I mean, I think at that time, yes, the pandemic was sinking in and we were all feeling like all the quote normal things that we do that we can't do. And even wondering at the time, like, what is this going to look like again? Like, I remember thinking, I've since been back, but like, oh my God, what is it going to be like at 18 or whatever it's called, Oracle Park?
Oracle Park, yes.
And it was those kind of, I thought the same about concerts and conventions. So I've moved on and sort of accepted it and since been in crowds and felt fine. So, but yeah, I missed that. And last year was a super weird year. I mean, I guess I'm glad they played a half season, but has that ever happened before, by the way?
No.
I didn't think so.
Well, you know what? I think on the flip side is, the baseball strike definitely ended some really, really good seasons. And there wasn't even a postseason. I remember it was in 1992 or 1993 was the baseball strike. There's been a couple. That was the last one. But and that's over money and greed and shit. I can agree with you, man. I can agree with you 100%. I'm glad that we had a half season, and I'm glad that the Rays went to the World Series, even though we lost to the Dodgers.
And you win. I mean, right. Yeah, and I was seriously missing. I mean, you've been there. Like, I love Oracle Park. Like, I just love going there. It's so fun. Like, I go there, with my friends. I organize work events. I get to be the person who's like, I'll sign up to figure out something for us to do. And it's always a Giants game. So I was just really, because we can literally walk from our office to the ballpark, which, is good. You're
absolutely. Where was your favorite spot to sit in there? Because I've only seen one game there, and it's on my top 3 favorite ballparks of all time, and I only have 2 more to go to.
Yeah. So I sit now. I mean, it depends what tickets I get. I sit now. I think it's called View Reserve, and it's pretty much first base.
Okay, first base side.
It's just under, and sometimes I get better tickets, and sometimes I can get to be on the club level. My company has a box, so occasionally I've been at the box, which is behind home plate. It's the Schwab box. So they don't do that so much anymore, but
have you ever sat up on the first base side up where you see, what do they call it? McCovey.
Yeah, way up.
Where all the ball hawks are in the water. I wanted to sit there.
Yeah.
And I sat there, and it was so cool to see all that action.
It is cool. To be honest, I saw Guns N' Roses up there from that. That wasn't the best place to see a concert, but it was still fun.
Wow, that's great.
Not View Reserve. I sit. It's first base, but it's just under the overhang, so the sun doesn't bother me, and the seats are just a little bit cheaper, and the view is still amazing. You can see the players and stuff. So that's my favorite spot currently. But I'll sit in the bleachers if someone gives me a ticket.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, they have great food there. They got the garlic parmesan fries.
Yeah, man.
They got the soft shell crab. I think
crab sandwich.
Crab sandwich. I think I dropped $150 in food there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of my favorite parks. It was my favorite park until I went to PNC in Pittsburgh. And that park is the thing that I did not like about Giants Park, AT&T Oracle Park, was that it was so fucking cold there in June.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that they were selling Irish coffee. And I'm like, I have never experienced like a cold game in June, like when I'm in the sun, you know.
I know.
And then you go up to wine country a half an hour away and you're like, oh my God, it's
110,
95 degrees, you know?
I know. That's just San Francisco. And on nice days, it's amazing, you know. So that's just the way it is here. Much better than when they were playing at Candlestick, which I've never been to.
You know, when I went in, because actually you're wearing the Force Within a red carpet event.
That's right, man.
And when I went into California to film up in Northern California, me and my wife went to a Giants game. And, you know, it was such a cool city. I love San Francisco. I want to go back there again. I've been there 3-4 times. I'll definitely look you up when I'm out that way.
We'll do Rancho Obi-Wan and the whole.
We got to do Rancho Obi-Wan in a Giants game.
Yeah. Done deal.
A Giants home game, and I can break out my Giants gear, man.
Right on. Yeah, no, totally.
So, all right, Jeff. Well, thank you so much for not only your support, as always, but your time and just expressing the fact you're getting over it slowly but surely. I don't know if I asked you this. I asked John this. You got to be happy though about the season overall. Nobody.
I'm thrilled. I think that's why I'm so disappointed, because it would have just been too good to be true. And I honestly feel that if we got through, and I'm an eternal optimist, but I feel like if we got through the Dodgers, we would have gotten to the World Series.
Yeah, sure. I think at this point, I think the Dodgers are going to go to the World Series. I think they're going to beat the Braves.
Yeah.
But we've been wrong before.
Yeah. And I wanted to talk about what you were saying beforehand. I mean, this has been really fun and a great way to interact with you and meet some of the other Patreon members. So I really appreciate you inviting me and just this community, because it's been a joy. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's good to hear. And again, Jimmy said, get the Patreon thing going. It'll create community with the Star Wars fans, and I think it's created the community with the baseball fans. And as you know, on Machtails, we talk about music, we talk about baseball, and we talk about Star Wars. But if you don't like baseball, or if you need a break from baseball, it's coming up real soon.
Right.
And we're going to get back into Star Wars.
That's right.
And a little bit more in the music, you know? So, all right, Jeff, thank you so much. I'm going to chat with my friend Tyler coming up now, actually.
Tyler, up now?
Yeah, coming up now. Not coming up next, but coming up now. Tyler, I love that hat, by the way.
Thanks, man. That's all I got.
You know, no, you guys got the division. You won the division. That's what the hat says. How do you feel now that time is passing? Where are you with your stage of grief?
You know, now it's all about seeing the Astros lose. I'm up for revenge.
And I can't argue with that, because I know that's the team that took you guys out.
Yeah.
And you probably can't necessarily, I don't know, maybe you can't argue with me, but I feel the same way. It's like, you know, you want the revenge, right? Somebody's got to deliver the revenge. And I got to quote my wife again. Michelle had said that if the team that goes to the World Series, even wins the World Series, knocked you out, then, you know, you can kind of, I don't know, you probably disagree with this, but it kind of, okay, yeah, they won the World Series. They took us out. I don't want the Astros to win the World Series. I don't want the Red Sox to win the World Series. But if they do, I don't know, is that really going to soften the blow? Probably not.
I don't know. I don't have a huge issue with the Red Sox, so that's why I want them to win, man. I'm right there with Boston Dan. I will say that game last night, I think, is going to be better than most of the World Series games. When we get to the World Series, I think it's going to be Dodgers are just better than everyone.
Yeah,
But,
I think, if the Dodgers fail,
yeah, there's no way the Braves are going to make it. That if they make
I
it,
wouldn't put my money on it.
yeah.
But I've been wrong. I've been wrong a
Yeah.
shit ton of times. You know what? While we got you on the line here, we're gonna go Yoda here.
And its wisdom are all around
Okay.
us. Ask you will a yes or no question. Sense the force in my left hand. Press it and answer you. I will.
Now he told you to feel the force last time, and I don't know. You might have felt a little too forced hearing your parking lot story. Yoda, will the Dodgers beat the Braves and go to the World Series?
Disturbing this question is.
We
Meditate. I will.
He said disturbing.
We
This
never
question
got
is.
that before.
Yoda has, the thing I like about Yoda is he's not been partial. He's like, it's disturbing. You got to feel it. Okay, now I don't want to throw Yoda across the room, and I won't because I really like him. This Yoda came out in 2002 when Attack of the Clones came out. So, Yoda, will the Red Sox beat the Astros and go to the World Series?
Strong I am with the force, but not that strong to see the answer.
See, now usually last year when I was asking him questions,
wait.
he was saying yes and no, and he was right.
Were you
But
just
now he's like,
last year, like in your basement alone, you were just like hitting the button?
well, I was sending it to my Red Sox friends
Okay.
because I was like, will the Rays beat the Yankees in the ALDS at the time? And Yoda said, yes, they will. And they but now that's kind of creepy.
A little creepy, yeah.
He's not answering questions. He's very, very confused. So that's the thing about baseball, right? We cannot predict the game. Great teams get knocked out all the time. Speaking about great teams getting knocked out all the time, Andy is joining us. I want Andy to come on because it is hard to avoid your predictions so far. I know you haven't been 100% right, but
no, not 100%. Close enough.
See, now you're seeing the game. We are seeing the game as biased fans of our team. You are a baseball fan sitting back looking at the big picture. You have clear vision.
I would have said clear, but
so okay, just starting over from scratch. I'll give you not even a redo because your predictions have been pretty close up to this point. You still think it's going to be Dodgers, Astros in a World Series?
I do. I don't think the Braves are strong enough to beat the Dodgers. The Dodgers are a better overall team than the Braves, but they could surprise. And then the Astros, I think, are just a better team than the Red Sox.
Yeah, the Astros are a good team.
All right,
we don't want to admit.
Yeah, it's we hate to admit it, but those like I told you guys the other day, those guys can play. They're all around offense, defense, pitching. They're maybe hard to beat. Not gonna lie.
Okay, let's take it a step further. Will the Astros? I should be asking Yoda this, but Yoda's going to be like, feel the force. Now, do you think the Dodgers will beat the Astros in the World Series?
It's going to be tough because the Dodgers are going to come at them with everything they've got, but I think the Astros are going to win the World Series.
You're embarrassed to say, you are embarrassed to say that. I can see it on your face. But
it's not a prediction I want, but I think,
yeah, it's not the prediction that you want, but you're a baseball guy. You said your family goes way, way back. I mean, it sounds like baseball was in your blood since you were born. And you just had that mentality. So, okay, Astros winning in how many games now?
I think it'll go 7.
7. Now, what do you think about the ALCS, Red Sox and Astros? How many games do you predict on that one?
I think that one will go 7 as well. I think the Dodgers and Braves will go 6, and then I think the ALCS will go 7.
Okay, 6 and 0. So again, we're continuing the theme here. No sweeps. No sweeps.
No sweeps. I think both sides. I think it's pretty good matchup, but I think it'll go deep.
Yeah. I would be shocked if anybody swept anybody at this point. You know, there hasn't been any sweeps to this point, and
it can happen, but I don't think
sure. I mean, it can always happen. I think that's the crazy thing about the sport of baseball. Now, I am still waiting for my brother Wistock, and I am going to talk to my friend Dan. Andy, thank you for joining us. I know you got a long day of work. Be well, be safe, and get some rest, brother. Thanks
Thank you,
for
Chris. Just
tuning
want to
in.
jump on and just give my 2 cents. Thank you.
Hey, man, that was perfect timing. And I like your predictions because I don't necessarily like the outcome, but I respect your prediction. You are the one on the show since episode 1. We're on episode 6 now. You are the guy that's looking at the big picture. We're all looking at it, you know, through our fan-colored glasses, if you will. So, all right, have a good night, brother.
That's what the Marlins do to you.
That's what the Marlins do. Okay, now, my next guest. We are still friends. I'm just going to bring him on real quick because he is taking time out of his Friday night bonfire. And I want to say the game should be starting soon if it's not started already.
Yeah. Well, I have to check. Like I said, I was dad solo today, so I had to, feed the kid and get him all ready for bed, and then read him a book, and then have him, lay down with him a little bit and all that.
Wait a minute. You just didn't say beat the kid, did you?
No. I didn't say beat the kid. Well, you get him to sleep. That's how you do it,
I'm used to some Red Sox fans being bullies.
No. No.
But not you, man. Not you. You know what? It's people like you. It's people like Eric Yako, that are my Red Sox friends, that put up with a lot of my I don't think anybody. Yeah. I don't think anybody has put up with my shit more than you, Dan. I really don't.
That's why I'm here. Like I said in our little chat there, like, hey, you know what? I'll be the rocks from your waves that'll crash against me, and I'm fine with it. Like, just let out your anger, man. Just let it all out.
Well, okay, I'm going to do that right now if you don't mind.
All right, go ahead. I'll play some REM for you, and play something sad for you. No, not that one. What's the hold on? Isn't that what it's called? In the day it's all you go, like that type.
Oh, we got singing tonight, folks.
Yeah. Don't make me sing, man. It's terrible.
Hey, don't forget to tune in to, is it Ian and Dan or Dan and Ian?
Dan and Ian. Yep.
Dan and Ian. The D is before the I, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Dan and Ian ask questions. Tune into that. Google it. You can find it anywhere. I will say, Dan, that there's been a lot of stuff that is come out of the smoke, if you will, that the Rays had ordered champagne to Fenway, and that fired up the Red Sox to beat the Rays. Well, let me tell you this: the Rays lost because of their pitching. They did not have the appropriate, experienced pitching. The games were super, super close.
I'm sorry.
But the Rays lost because the Red Sox were better and the Red Sox beat them. I will say that first and foremost. I never thought I was going to hate Kyle Schwarber. But you put that fucking Red Sox shit on, and man,
you saw red. You were the bull, man. You're a bull. You saw red and you attacked. That's what it was.
I am the bull. Now let me tell you this. I want to just tell you that the Red Sox players said that they were angry about the Rays chomping on their popcorn. Game 1, when they handed the asses of the Red Sox to them, 5-0. Arozarena stole home plate. Antonio from New Jersey said, Judge can't even steal home. You guys steal home. He can't even make it home. You guys steal home plate. That has not been done, I believe, since Jackie Robinson did it in 1955 during a postseason game.
Right.
But I got to tell you, I've been listening and watching the fucking Red Sox chomp their gum, especially with Tito Francona. I've been listening and watching those guys chomp their food for years, since 2008.
Right.
And so they can take a little popcorn eating, the Red Sox.
Well,
can,
you know what the thing is, especially with popcorn or something like that. You know, obviously the opponents are not. They picture that as that you're not taking it serious. You're not taking this team seriously. So how do you expect someone to? I mean, chewing gum. Everybody chews gum. Come on. That's a little ridiculous. I see them chewing their gum and everything like that. That is more subtle than having a bag of popcorn and like chewing it off like you're going to a movies or something like that. You're figuring that's what it was. It's like you think you're not taking this team seriously, so you're just gonna sit back and relax and just be a goofball eating your popcorn and stuff like that, and not expect that another team will get angry about that. And then you saw what happened. The Red Sox came back and they're like, I'm not taking this shit anymore. You think that we're just a throwaway team, that we're just like a high buy and we're done. You think that did you think that Red Sox were like the Rhode Island of the baseball teams, where you just go, hi,
no,
Rhode Island, bye, Rhode Island. That's what it is. That's exactly what it was.
Because when you guys
that doesn't mean you. That doesn't mean you. I'm just talking about your team. Your team was automatically thought that we were like a high buy like state, where you just drove by 20 minutes, you're on another state. And I didn't really appreciate that, and they didn't really appreciate that.
Well,
and that's what happened. You got smacked. You got smacked. And that's what happened. I'm sorry. That's exactly what happened.
I don't believe that's why the Red Sox won. The Red Sox did not win out of anger. They won because they were a better team than the Rays. I'm fucking saying it right here and right now.
Right.
They could blame it on shit, and it's good for the media, you know.
Like, yeah.
It's making the Rays look like they're villains, and it's like, come on, man. You know, why? Right. Here's the thing. I did not see game 1 and 2 on TV. Mm-hmm. Game 1, they were chewing the popcorn. I didn't see that because I was at the fucking game.
Right, exactly.
They probably ordered the champagne to Fenway just in case, because if you've seen the boat issue in California, everything's backed up. I mean, they're talking about like shortage of pumpkins, shortage of toys for Christmas. They didn't want to have a shortage of champagne.
Right, yeah.
You know, were they going to get it done in 4 games? I was praying for a game 5. I will say, though, that those games, Hunter Renfroe, crazy enough, Hunter Renfroe was in right field. He was a monster with the Rays last year. I watched that play again, and it's like, okay, that was a crazy, crazy play. It just, you know what? I'm going to chalk it up right now. It just wasn't the Rays' postseason year. Now, let me ask you this. Are you nervous facing the Astros? Because
yes.
you are nervous.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, Jesus. I mean, did you see like the White Sox? They gave them for like a little bit of a run for their money, but man, they came roaring back and just did not release the brakes. They did not release brakes at all. They grinded, and then you saw what happened in the last game. They went up they had 10 scores. It's just like it just didn't relent. They didn't relent, and I have a feeling that like this is kind of like, we joke around up in near New England at certain times during like the Patriots, there was like a revenge tour, and I have a feeling like this might be like their revenge tour, going around like everybody's everybody's accusing us of cheating or whatever, and like, well, we're gonna show you that it was more than just sign stealing. That it was actually like our power that we had and our pitching and everything. So I don't know. I'm really nervous. I'm very, very nervous about this game. It's just like how just unrelenting they were with the White Sox. So I'm a bit nervous about that for sure.
Well, I don't want to soften the blow a little bit. I mean, I do believe that the Red Sox playing in the AL East with the Yankees and the Rays, especially this year and over the last handful of years, when I know me and Tyler talked about this on the last episode, that the American League Central was definitely not as strong as the AL East. I don't want to take anything away from the White Sox because they still won the division. I don't give a shit how strong or how easy it is when you win. Same with the Rays. Rays won 100 games. They still won the division. At the end of the day, I want to see the AL East 2021 flag
Right.
Rays up on opening day, then some fucking wild card flag. We got a couple of those already. Those were fun years, but it's tough. You got 2 wild card teams in there. You got the Dodgers in there. You got the Red Sox in there.
Right.
I think as a whole, Andy might be able to chime in on this on the next episode, but you have the Red Sox team, then you got the fucking cheater Alex Cora. Maybe he's not cheating now, but he was a cheater back in the day.
Right.
A couple years ago.
Right.
Yeah, you got the Astros, the cheating franchise, but then you got Dusty Baker at the helm. You have very, again, we talked about this on episode 1. I'm coming to terms with it that the Rays are out of it, but I do like the way that it's just playing out. It's playing out, man. You know, and you know, I mean, we got a long way to go. We still got the championship series,
right?
And thank you so much for taking time out of your Friday night, being dead solo or Hondan or whatever the hell you do. You know, and it's good to lay into, you know, this. I mean, dude, I'm still wearing my Rays shit, and we're been out of it.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, and that's the thing. It's like even if you beat us, you know, and I would have gladly, if we lived in the same state, I would have gladly shook your hand and said that was a good game. But you know, afterwards, like I would have definitely been rooting for the Rays, just because, you know, they're representing like our division, you know, and I felt.
What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? Dan is a better man than I am.
Because I know he's giving me the middle finger outside the camera screen. So that's
no, absolutely no. Here's my
sure.
No, it's no, absolutely not, man. It's you know, it's and like I said, when I was at game 1 and game 2, I noticed there's a lot of Red Sox fans that were with Rays fans. I don't believe that rivalry is as vicious as it is in my mind, because they have people like me and you, have people at the Trop, the Rays friends with the Red Sox friends, and you know, it's just, I don't know. I will get into that later on down the road. My dislike and my love for the Red Sox and my love for the Rays. But we are out of time. We're out of time. Dan, Dan, have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Happy Friday. And thank you again for taking time out of your day. And go Dusty Baker.
You said it.
All right. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, man. Good to see you.
I'm sure we'll talk to you again. We will talk to you again soon.
Absolutely.
Later. All right. Tyler.
Yeah.
You know, it's been fun. It's been fun, man. I mean, our teams are out of it. We still have the baseball hangover, but we're still here doing this show. We are winding down.
Definitely.
You know, I will admit I'm running out of steam. I ran out of steam when I saw the Giants-Dodgers score yesterday. I was like, oh man, I'm like, the baseball gods want me to get back to real life. But I don't want to let go of it. I'm not letting
go. I'm looking at every like little off season. Like, I know you don't follow predictions.
I used to. I used to do the hot stove thing, but I gave up on that shit.
I do now. And one of the rumors out there is that Correa could go to the Cubs. And I'm not sure where that would leave you or many other Cubs fans, but that would be pretty interesting to see. Because you'd have a cheater on the north side, like I'm used to.
Yeah, again, I don't. Yeah, that wouldn't make me happy. If Altuve was on the fucking Cubs, it wouldn't make me happy. And he's a good baseball player. Everybody hates him because he's good. Even when he doesn't cheat, he's good.
Yeah.
You know, I had a hard time with John Lester. I had a hard time with John Lackey on the Cubs. I was not a fan of them. I was not a fan of Theo Epstein when he was on the Cubs.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're tainting the Northsiders with just Red Sox, red-colored shit smears.
Oh, my God. I can't let you say that. The Red Sox are a great team. Great representative of them.
I tell you right now, if Joe Madden, my beloved Joe Madden, did not leave the Rays, because I was ready to throw in a towel on the Rays when Joe left. I'm like, oh man, how can I not like the Rays after Joe left? You know, because he was so fun. He was so great with the Rays. And then there was 2 weeks. Nobody knew where he was going. And then he was announced to the Cubs. And I'm like, that was a gift to me. Because I was watching it. The Cubs fans didn't know who he was. I mean, I was watching that guy. That was the reason why Joe Madden was the reason why I fell out of love with Cubs baseball. Because I was watching the Rays. And he was the reason why I fell back in love with Cubs baseball. Because he came to the Cubs and, you know, otherwise Theo Epstein, John Lackey, John Lester, there's nothing to like about those guys.
I agree. Yeah.
Nothing to like about those guys. Well, Tyler, you know, you put up with my Cubs fandom, and I put up with you rooting for the Red Sox tonight. But you have a legitimate reason because the Astros, the Cheatstros, I'll still call them the Cheatstros. You know, they really took you guys out. And Tyler, I am so disappointed that we are not going to the ALCS together, man.
It would have been awesome, man.
You
really would have.
That beard is getting longer.
I am going to trim it, but, you know, not out of losing.
We had a bet. I had a fantasy about us going to the game. Like, I accepted that you had a single seat for me.
I know.
And now I'm ready to go.
I'm like, well, I get that $500 back, I guess, but it's not that fun. You know.
Oh, you mean if you had to sell my seat?
Yeah, well, no, I had to buy it, so they're just
no. But I was like, no, I didn't want to do that to you. And I'm like, I'm going to be a man. I'm going to grow some balls. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to this game by myself, you know. And man, it was just we talked about it we got too cocky.
Yeah, we
got too confident.
Yeah,
and I know. You know, at least Boston Dan is nervous. It's not like Boston Dan's going, yeah, we're going to the World Series.
I think Boston Dan has no reason to be nervous. The way that the Red Sox handled the Rays, they can handle the Astros, especially without Lance McCullers.
But out of all the teams, I just see, maybe because they cheated, I just see the Astros as like, you know what? They are the team to beat. They are the team to beat because everybody wants to beat them because of what they did in what was 2018, right?
17, right?
17.
But no one's ever really come out with saying when they stopped. So
yeah, it feels like yesterday, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, it's Andy's probably right. Astros are probably going to win a World Series.
No, Andy's wrong on this one. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he's wrong.
Oh, man, you know what? I'm going to ask you one more question, and then we're going to let everybody go. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining the show. Okay. Yoda, if the Dodgers face the Astros in the World Series, will the Astros win it all?
You must feel the force around you. The answer then clear will become.
See, again, feel the force around you. So, you know, feel the cheaters around you.
Even an 8-ball is better than that.
No, he was great, man. I just think that he is being very conservative because I feel like there's a little device in here, and he's feeling my force right now.
Oh,
disappointment. You know, maybe if you touch his hand,
it's got to be someone else.
A bit more lax.
You know? Yeah, it'll be real.
But there's too much energy going through me right now. He's like, you got to control yourself, dude. You have to control yourself. Well, hey guys, it's been a very, very, very fun show, as it always has been on Machtails from the Cantina Live. You know, I feel bad because in the springtime, we did Music Monday with Billy Mack, which I had a lot of fun with that. We got to bring that back. Again, this was an idea that was started last year. I just get so fired up about baseball. I feel like over the last 14 years, I've been a bigger baseball fan than I have Star Wars fan. And I don't know if it shows or not, but, you know, there's a reason why we're here on episode 6, and we will be coming back with episode 7 sometime after the championship series. And hopefully we'll hear from Michael Wistock, producer show Michael Wistock. Remember, you can join me on Patreon for just $2 a month. There are 40 podcast episodes at this point, And I hope to see you guys join because I feel like the ownership of the Rays, I have a good product, but I just don't sell out every night. So, hey guys, happy Friday. We will catch you guys next time on Machtails from the Cantina. Be well, be safe. And Yoda, I am clearing my mind right now. We will see you next time. So long, everybody.